So as I was just saying, crouching, not crouching, why do I keep saying that? Jumping D is your main air to ground tool. Because the angle is very good hit stun, and you can hit them earlier. Jumping C has a little bit more startup, so they have more frames to block a high attack. Whereas with jumping D, it comes out faster, and it reaches them before jumping C does. So you want to use this as your air to ground move most of the time, if not all the time. And lastly, jumping B, which can work as somewhat of a viable air to air, but not as good as A and C. It has cross-up potential, so it's your most consistent cross-up move. Jumping D can cross-up, jumping C can also cross-up, but jumping B is your most viable cross-up. Trying to combo into it after a cross-up. There we go. It's your most consistent cross-up normal. You can use that on crouching opponents if you want, but you'd rather be using this and this. Alright, so jumping blowback is really good. It's got a great hitbox. However, you're gonna have to press it later to hit crouching opponents. If you do it too early, it's gonna whiff. And it's not an overhead. But anyways, it's got a great hitbox. You can just sort of throw it out as an anti-air, air to air, if you don't want to use this or this. And also, if you get this, you can follow it up if you get a counter hit off of it. So as far as blowbacks are concerned, mine has very good ones. Like her standing one will hit from this far, and the jumping one has a lot of range too. So even if you trade, it's still in your favor, but her blowbacks are very less likely to trade than other characters' blowbacks. Alright, so let's move on to throws. So my throw, the toss distance is a medium range, and it's a hard knockdown. So here's some of the setups you can do. If you're a player 1, if you're on the player 1 side, if you're player 1, if you're on the player, never mind. What I mean is, if you're player 1, if you get this, you could roll while they're on the ground, and you'll cross up. You'll be on the other side. So it's sort of a gimmick to use. It's a very neat trick. And even if your opponent already knows about it, you can sort of pretend to go into it. You know, like, oh, he's gotta cross me up, but really I'm still in front of you, sort of thing. Another thing you could do after her grab is jump over. It's supposed to work. Maybe if they're standing, it'll be easier. There we go. Huh. There we go. Okay. If you grab them, you can jump over and then you'll cross up. In King of Fighters, normally you can't do this. If they're all the way in a corner, you can't cross them up. But Mai and King are an exception to this rule. I can't even get this consistently. There we go. Okay. And also another setup you can get is this cross up B. And that's about it for grab setups. Another thing you can do with Mai is air grab. She has an air grab. It's hard knockdown. It does 125 damage, and you get a free fireball setup with it that you could combo afterwards. I'll go over her hard knockdown setups with the air grab, but just know that she has options with it. And air grabs in this game are very good because even if your opponent jumps before you, you could still get them with the air grab. Actually, it's even easier for you to get them with the air grab if you're below them. But either way, yeah, air grabs beat out are very good. You know, just like in most fighting games, they're very good. Usually beat out other air airs. So it's good to know that Mai has it. Alright, so command normals. She has 2 command normals, a wall dive and a double knee drop. So the double knee drop is an overhead. It's special cancelable. As far as setups are concerned, you don't have that many setups. Don't expect to I mean, the setups are okay. You can't get much as far as setups are concerned, but it's good to know because what you can do is you can cancel it from jumping B and jumping D. But what you have to know is you have to do it from a normal jump. You have to do a normal jump into B or D, and then you can cancel into a double knee drop. If you do a short hop, you can't cancel into her double knee drop. However, you can still use it raw by itself without the knee, in a short hop. So this knee drop, you could use it for shenanigans and mix-ups. Like look at this, like all of these are cross-ups right now. It's very confusing for the opponent. I mean, I bet not even a user will know whether or not it will cross up most of the time. But yeah, so you could, here's one thing you could do with it. You could do jumping. Let's say I'm gonna have them block all of it. Alright, so you could do this. You could do this as a double overhead, and even if they block that, you could do this. You could cancel it into her squirrel dive. So I'm gonna put the opponent on one guard jump. So if they try to jump out of it, or if they press a button, and if you do the squirrel dive while doing this shenanigan, then you're gonna hit them out of it. You're gonna hit them out of it, and if you're in the corner, you'll get that air grab for free. But otherwise, you're not gonna get much. If they do block it, it's unsafe. The setup, I mean, both the setup and knee drop. Actually, hold on. Actually, the knee drop can be positive or negative, but it depends on how high you hit them from it. So if I hit them from this high, it's punishable. However, if I hit them from this low, then it's positive. See, my character's gonna land first, so that means it's positive. That's your frame, positive or negative confirm. Okay, so the double knee drop, the wall dive, right? So the wall jump, I mean. So with mine, she could, as long as you're on the corner, or you're full screen, you could still wall jump. And you can also wall jump from any height. So you could wall jump from all the way up here, or you could wall jump from sort of over here in the middle of the screen, or when you're almost reaching the ground, so like that. So this is to use to get out of the corner. You could use it as sort of gimmicks too, like if you're going in for an overhead, I mean a jumping attack, but then you're like, oh nope, and they're like mashing tech. Like you're always mashing standing C or something, and then you could cancel it into your squirrel dive, and then you can catch them off guard, get an air grab right afterwards. So again, it's used for like gimmicky purposes, like tips and tricks, stuff like that. Alright, so next up we have, let's see, I covered her overhead, cancelable, kicks, on knockdown, special, cancelable. Alright, so let's go over her specials. So she's got Ryu Enbu, which is quarter circle back punches. So the A version reaches kind of that far. Oops. Both versions are negative on block. The second version, the C version, has 2 hits. The C version has 2 hits. It's your main combo tool, or your combo ender if you don't have any bar. You can also use this to end a combo, but it really depends. So for like close block strings, you could do that. However, if you're far away, then you just use the A version to combo.